during the press conference after the game. And when she speaks, people pay attention. Sophie has been the voice that players didn't even realize they needed, whether it was for media respect, locker room conditions, or player remuneration. She is currently seated at the table with legends. Why her? Due to her lack of fear. Since even when the cameras are off, she isn't scared to question the system since she knows the game inside and out. However, this is the most potent. Cunningham adds credibility. She isn't popular with the media. She lacks business sophistication. She's unpolished. She is authentic. She is also regarded. Therefore, it's not nonsense if she is a part of this new project, whatever it is. Fire is present. Her participation indicates that this goes beyond show business. It has to do with content, change, and genuine change. For years, Sophie has been sowing the seeds for future leadership positions, player advocacy, and union work. This encounter could be her harvest. And now, combined with Bird's gravitas and Clark's star power, Cunningham is the unifying factor, the conduit across generations, and the enforcer who ensures that change is not only discussed but actually implemented. Then there is Larry Bird, the legend, the man, the Indiana icon, the three-time MVP, the three-time NBA champion, and the source of the league's most vile taunts. However, he isn't here to brag about his qualifications right now. He believes in something greater than himself, which is why he is here. And it's time to listen when, after years of stillness, Larry Bird appears. Bird was more than just a dominant player. As an executive, he created contenders. He lifted entire companies, coached, drafted, and mentored them. His fingerprints may be seen on every Indiana basketball team, from the Pacers to the Celtics. However, why now? Why come out of the shadows at this time? The game needs him, that's all. Since the spark is Caitlin Clark. Additionally, Bird is skilled at converting sparks into infernos. The presence of Birds is not ceremonial. It's a calculated move. He serves as the mentor, the architect, and the link between new school brilliance and old school toughness. His purpose is to construct. Consider this. Bird is Clark's mentor, teaching her how to manage celebrity, lead teams, and leave a legacy. It goes beyond just mentoring. It's a step up. The crown is being passed by royalty. Bird never takes a half-hearted approach. He's all in if he decides to return to the arena. And with Cunningham and Clark by his side, this three might spark an unprecedented phenomenon in the sport. All of this that is taking place in Indiana, the state where basketball isn't a sport, has a lyrical quality. It's a faith. Additionally, all three of these individuals have strong connections to it. The fever is being stoked by Clark. Cunningham participated in Midwest high school competitions. Additionally, Bird plays basketball for Indiana. This is not an accident. A coronation is taking place. Basketball is experiencing a revival in Indiana that transcends leagues, genders, and eras. The state is a hive of activity among fans. Practice facilities have media vans parked outside of them. Additionally, a blueprint is being drawn elsewhere in a boardroom. A blueprint with the power to transform everything. This movement transcends individual players, teams, and leagues. The goal is to unite basketball under a single flag. And it's okay if Indiana serves as the starting point. Furthermore, that pattern is more than merely OS and excess. The goal is to completely transform the sport itself. According to insiders, this goes beyond simply raising WNBA ratings or obtaining better sponsorship deals. It involves completely reimagining the professional basketball ecosystem, with Clark, Cunningham, and Bird serving as key architects of that idea. Imagine a time in the future when players from the NBA and WNBA train together. Where young girls and boys in Indiana or any place else in the nation look up and see the same resources, the same enthusiasm, and the same spotlight shining on both leagues, where mentoring isn't just a marketing gimmick but rather a systematic, fully financed program. This trio may be constructing that. It's not just chatter, either. Rumor has it that infrastructure is already being relocated. Media platforms run by both male and female basketball icons co-manage training academies' development pipelines. According to rumors, Larry Bird, who has extensive contacts and administrative experience, is pushing for NBA assistants to formally integrate the leagues in ways that have never been seen before. Cunningham isn't merely lending her voice, though. According to reports, she is advocating for equal pay structures, retirement planning, mental health programs, union protection, and systematic policy changes that go beyond platitudes and into quantifiable action. Her role, and this is revolutionary, not ornamental. On her end, Caitlin Clark is referred to as a reform icon in addition to being a good athlete. She is strong enough to insist on access to boardrooms where genuine change takes place, yet still youthful enough to engage with the next generation. She is challenging the system rather than celebrating it with her platform. Additionally, supporters are organizing rather than only observing. Social media buzz is at an all-time high. Hashtags are popular right now. Fan clubs are starting to take shape, and there are petitions going around asking for more information about the possible outcomes of this mystery Indiana gathering. The public is curious and, more significantly, wants to participate. According to sources, special investigative pieces are being planned by the local media in Indiana. Flying producers are national news outlets. Why? Because they are aware of everyone's gut feelings. We're just